Hi guys, welcome to my page. Thanks for watching Truth Tribe. I'm Ruth Delgado of Ruth Delgado Glamour page. I love you guys for watching. Thank you so much for your support. If you're already subscribed, thank you. And press that like button if you love the content that I am providing. I would like to share with you guys today a story time. Since it is Throwback Thursdays, ain't it? So, I'm going to share with y'all a story time in honor of Throwback Thursday. Okay? So, y'all, this is the story time about my college days. All right? So, this is one of the first crushes I ever had. Okay? I was in college, and it was this guy. I'm going to call him Dom. Okay. Dom, I thought Dom was really nice looking guy, right? Now, mind you, I met Dom when I was 17. I was in college. I went to community. So when I first saw him, I was like, "Ooh, he's very handsome." You know, right from the rip. But of course, I was very young then, and as far as any other attributes about him, I didn't know very much. But the few things that I did learn, just like every other young lady when she has a crush, it was just like all the good things about him just seemed to be so amazing and so great. And he just seemed to be so semi-perfect in my eyes. Semi. So, at 17, I wasn't allowed to date. I had a very strict mother, foster mom. And so I knew I couldn't date this guy. But he knew I liked him because it was a number of friends that we had, mutual friends, that I'm pretty sure informed him that I had a little crush on him or whatever. So he definitely knew. So for a number of years, he knew about it, but he never really seemed to care. And so I didn't care. But eventually, of course, a number of years later, when we got older and we both were no longer in college anymore, he actually asked me out. And I was surprised. I'm going to keep it a bean with you. I didn't expect that. But anyway, he did. He asked me out on a date to the movies. And how many years was it? I'm not even really sure, to be honest with y'all. I'm not even really sure how many years it was since I had met him that it took for him to actually ask me out on an actual date. But anyway, so he asked me out. I said yes. We went to the movies. So when we went to the movies, I'm going to say this. He is the very reason why, to this day, literally, to this day, I lie or not, to this day, I never go out with anybody unless, one, I have money in my pocket, and two, I really don't care one way or another whether the date goes well or not. And here's why. So going back to the story. So we linked up to go to the movies. Okay? And mind you, actually, let me rewind a little bit. I had already knew to have money. My apologies. I already knew to have money. It's just that I know even more to ensure that I always have money and never slip. So going back to the story, what happened was we linked up to go to the movies. We went to the movie. We met at the movie theater, right? Now, first and foremost problem that I already should have known was an issue was that he had expected me to meet up with him all the way in North Philadelphia. Now, mind you, at this point, I lived in West Philly. So that right there should have rung a bell in my head. It kind of did, but I kind of ignored it. I'm not going to lie. So that was like kind of the first strike. But like I said, I kind of ignored it. Because it's like, I like gentlemen. I like real men that like to be gentlemen to women. Not otherwise. So anyway, a gentleman, especially when they don't have a car, and he didn't have a car, and neither did he drive, a gentleman usually ensures that if he's going to meet up with a young lady somewhere, he usually ensures that she is not going to be taking the longest trip. You know what I'm saying? That if anybody's going to be taking a long trip, that it will be him taking a longer trip, not her. So that, from the rip, should have made me say, never mind. Right? But I guess you could say young and dumb at that time. But I wasn't completely dumb because I never let him hit, and I never let him get past that mistake. So I wasn't completely dumb. So I continued to link up with him. And I met up with him in North Philly. I took the longer trip, which was my first mistake. Okay? And looking back, I'm like, yeah, I was definitely wrong for even saying yes when he expected me to take the longer trip. But anyway, he started off wrong there. Now, on top of that, we get up to the front. You know, I'm waiting in line and, you know, we chilling. We get up to the front. I'm not thinking for the life of me that this man is literally going to look at me to pay the bill. But let me tell y'all something. He did. Okay, so let me explain. So the young lady told us how much it would cost for us to watch the movie we wanted to see, right? And I don't even remember what movie it was we saw. But you know this man ain't had no money. You know, he looked at me and said, "You got this, right? Because you know I ain't got no money." In my mind, I'm like, "Swerve, nigga, what?" But I ain't say nothing but, "What you mean do I got this, right?" I said, "You asked me to go out. Why would I have this? And then why would you ask me to go out with no money?" Oh, I definitely embarrassed him in front of them people because I felt like he was embarrassing me by even asking me for money to pay for the bill when he's the one that asked me to go out in the first place and didn't let me know that he was a broke nigga and that he would not be able to pay for the bill. Because if he would have let me know that, then I would have been prepared and wouldn't have had to go through the slight embarrassment of him expecting me to pay for it. Okay. So, because of the simple fact that, one, I did not make this long behind trip all the way from West Philly to North Philly to just go straight back. And then I was thanking God in my mind that my mother taught me to, anytime you go out of the house and you're not going to work or you're not going to make money, you make sure you have money. That's one thing my mother taught me. And I listened. So even though he said he didn't have any money, yeah, of course I had money because I listened to my mother. So I did pay for it. I did. But I didn't pay for it because I wanted to. I paid for it because I was like, I did not make this long behind trip. Now, I don't drive. I got there on the bus. I didn't make this long behind trip on the bus to sit here and go all the way back to West Philly on the bus and spend more money and not do nothing. So that's the only reason why I told him, I said, listen, let me tell you something, right? I said, I'm going to take care of it, because thank God my mother taught me never to go nowhere without money. So thank God I did have my own money. And I had more than enough to cover both of us. So I did just that. But I did let him know before I even did that, that first of all, for future references, you should never invite anybody, especially a woman, out on a date and you can't front the bill. Secondly, you shouldn't invite them out and you can't front the bill and you don't inform them that you don't have money. And then I told him, since you did do that to me, I'm going to let you know right now, this is going to be the last time that we're ever going to go out. Unless you hit me up and tell me you got it next time. And I was like, you feel me? He was like, yeah, I got you. And, you know, we watched the movie and everything, and typically that's the end of the story. But what I learned from this story, basically what I've already mentioned, but just to be more specific, what I learned from this story is I learned how naive even smart people, because I was a very smart young lady, just like I still am, but how naive you can tend to be, first of all, when you're very young, and then secondly, when you haven't had certain type of experiences to inform you that people can land you in situations that make you feel uncomfortable. And me going through that particular situation, it made me feel uncomfortable, and it made me a little embarrassed, because it made me feel like, why would you ask me to go out and you knew you didn't have no money? That's embarrassing. And then we were in line in front of other people. Now, mind you, I don't care about people like that much to really care what they think. But just the point of all the time it took for us to go through all of that rigmarole that we wouldn't have had to go through if you was just honest from the rip and told me, yeah, I would like to go to the movies with you, but I'm broke right now. Yeah, I got kids and whatnot. Because he did have a son. And then he called himself trying to sit there and say, girl, you know I got kids. I don't got money like that. First of all, sir, your children is not my responsibility. So it is not my responsibility when you ask me to go out on a date with you to sit there and think in my mind, oh, does he have kids? Is he going to have money? Should I ask him, is he going to pay? I'm not thinking that I have to ask you all of this. Why should I have to ask a grown behind man that's asking a grown behind woman to go out? He should already know that if you asking a grown woman to go out, you should either be paying for it, or you should at least be letting her know that this is a Dutch type of situation. Forewarn her or something. Don't just set her up in that particular position and situation and then look at her like she crazy because she's expecting you to be a man. So, yo, should I share another one? I'm going to share another one with y'all. Another story time that I have is of another story that really bothered me, to be honest. Okay? This story time involves someone that I actually used to claim as family. Now, mind you, if you guys, watch a number of my videos and keep up with my page, then y'all would know that I informed y'all that, I'm adopted child and, all of that. So when I had this experience that I had, it really made me take it personal, because when I claim people as family, I really be meaning that, because I love my friends like they family, because my family life is so kind of like up in the air. It's kind of finicky. My family act one way one minute, and then the next minute they act another. So because they like that, I kind of just stay away, because I'm not going to continue to hurt my own feelings by dealing with you, even if you are my family, period. And that's whether biological or non. And this particular story involves a person that I was not biologically related to, and they were not a part of my foster family either. But I met them later on in life. I was pretty young when I met them too. I was like 19. Yeah, I was 19 when I met this person. What am I going to call her? I'm going to call her Bella. This young lady that I'm going to call Bella, I met her through a mutual friend that I actually used to live with. She was my roommate. My old roommate introduced me to Bella. I'm going to call my old roommate Lala. Okay? So I met Bella through Lala. And I used to have issues with Lala when we lived together, because she used to have assumptions that her boyfriend that she was with at the time when we lived together, that I was like in some way, shape, or form, like trying to come on to him or something. And she used to talk to other people about that. And Bella was one of the people that she used to talk about me to. Now, mind you, I didn't find this out until later. I didn't know it right away that Lala was talking about me. The whole time that we were living together. And we lived together for at least like 6 to 8 months, probably, roughly, on or off. And Lala was real cool with this young lady, Bella, because she was talking crap about me. But like I said, I didn't know that she was talking crap about me to her until later. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit. So Bella and I got very close, got very cool, to the point that literally the first time Bella and I met, Bella had a son, baby boy. I'm going to name baby boy Jay. So Bella's son Jay is who she had with her the day that we met, when Lala introduced us. So first thing Bella says out of her mouth when she sees me, first of all, she's like, "Oh my gosh, you're beautiful." And then second thing she said is, "I don't care what you have to say about it, but you're my sister. We don't have to be blood. I'm claiming you as my sister." She said this the first day we met. And she said, "You're my son's godmother." And she said, "I don't care what you have to say about it, because that's just what it is." And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I didn't really know how to feel about it. Because at first I felt like, who does lady think she is? And then I felt like, but wait, that's kind of sweet. So I didn't really know how to feel. You know what I'm saying? When she did that. But from then on, because she did that, we were like this. I called her my sister. She called me her sister. You know, a lot of times when you seen her, you seen me. And the very same day that we met, also found out that our birthdays was on the exact same day. My birthday is July 15th. Hers was July 15th as well. And the crazy thing is, my godson, her son's birthday was January 15th. So it was just kind of crazy, you know? So y'all can imagine how heartbroken I must have been when Bella caught me off cold turkey. No reason. But I am going to tell you guys about something that she did say to me that did ring bells when I noticed that she cut me off. But she didn't even give me a chance or an opportunity to actually defend myself for the situation. So after I thought about everything, I kind of just put two and two together in my head about what really happened. Because I was so confused. Because I'm like, yo, we was close as ever. Like, you called me your sister, even though at first, right off the bat, I didn't call her my sister. I didn't disagree with her when she claimed to call me that, but I didn't start right off the bat calling her that. Honestly, I didn't honestly start calling her my sister until I met a number of her family members, and they were literally referring to me as her sister. And that's one of the major reasons why I got comfortable enough to start calling her sister and looking at her in that light. So it literally took a lot for me to even get to that point, to be comfortable enough to call a complete stranger to me at this point, because she was a complete stranger to me before that day that we met. To call her my sister and then become so close to her like we were sisters. It was crazy that she just cut me off cold turkey. But I'm going to let y'all know. Oh, shoot, my nail popped off. But I'm going to let y'all know what happened, that I finally put the pieces together later and realized what happened, because she didn't even give me the common courtesy or respect to speak to me and let me know that she had any type of issues whatsoever with me. So one thing that I did realize later on, after she stopped talking to me, I realized this conversation was relevant later. What the conversation was this. Bella is friends with me, or was friends with me on social media. And her children's father also is friends with me on social media. One of her children's father, because she has a number of them. But the one in question that I'm talking about right now, he's on social media. And he had been making a significant amount of comments and likes to some of my videos and my pictures and my content on my social media sites. And because I know that's her children's father, I never paid the man no mind. I saw that he was making comments. I never responded to those comments. I saw that he liked my pictures. I never responded to those likes. I never literally entertained any of the BS that he put under any of my stuff. So, Bella one day decided to mention the fact that one of her baby fathers kept making himself known, basically, and seen on my page. And my response to her, not really even taking the situation that seriously, because I would never pay that nigga no mind, just because I know who he is to her. So I didn't take none of that crap seriously. So I didn't mention none of that. I didn't say nothing to any of it. So when she said to me that she noticed that he kept liking pics and making comments, I said, well, If you notice that much, Bella, you should also notice that Ruth don't put no comments under none of that. Ruth don't entertain none of that. Ruth don't bother with none of that. Because Ruth don't have no interest in that man. Because I know that's your nigga. And after that, that's all I said about the situation. Because I felt like that's all that needed to be said. Why are we talking about this ignorant fool you not even with no more? And that I don't pay no attention to, because I would never get at dude the time of day. First of all, because he ain't my type. That's number one. And then number two, I darn sure wouldn't give him the type of day just because of the simple fact of how much I respected you. When obviously, unfortunately, she did not deserve that respect. And obviously, she did not deserve to have me as a friend. Because she did not realize, obviously, that she had nothing to worry about when it came to wondering whether I was entertaining a man that she used to be with. Now, mind you, I'm giving y'all a lot of throwbacks today. Well, it is Throwback Thursday. Mind you, I did have a situation where it may have actually seemed like I purposefully or may have purposefully dealt with someone after somebody else. Actually, it's the same ex-roommate that I met Bella through, Lala. That roommate, I had a situation where I ended up having to call Lala recently in the last year or two because I was dealing with someone that I had found out later on down the line after dealing with them that she had dealt with at a point. Now, mind you, she did introduce me to this person. But when she introduced me to this person, first of all, I was not all there because I was in a rush because I was in the middle of doing something. And then second of all, I didn't stick around. So I literally didn't even remember that she had introduced me to this man. So when I had later on got messages from him from Facebook to do a music video with him, I didn't see the connection. But years later, down the line, that same guy that Lala was with and she introduced me to, but I didn't remember that she had introduced me to him, that same guy, he was slick because he knew what he was doing by trying to talk to me when he knew that Lala and I were friends. And part of what's very important to shine light on with these stories is how sneaky, slimy, and scammy men are. Because men always want to paint women like they the ones that's the sneaky, slimy ones. But for that man to know that he used to date my ex-roommate, who he know we were still cool and still friends, for him to not tell me until years later, after he started messing with me, for him to wait that long to remind me that we had actually met before, that let me know right then and there how slick and slimy men are. Because why would you even try to talk to me when you know that could stir up something between me and my homegirl? And it's the same instance with the situation with Bella and her, baby dad. Why would he be trying to make comments under my picture and make it be known that he had an interest in me so that she could see it? Why would he even do that? Because niggas is slimy And I apologize, ancestors, for saying niggas. But the only reason why I'm using that word is because of the simple fact that's what you're acting like when you act sneaky and slimy and effed up like that. And I'm actually glad that when I spoke to the young lady who used to date the guy that ended up dating me later, when I spoke to her and explained to her that I didn't originally even know and even remember that she had introduced me to this man before I, officially met him later. I'm so glad that when I spoke to her, well, at least she act like she was cool when I spoke to her. I don't know. People lie so much. She could have not been cool, but just act like and pretended she was. But I pray to God she wasn't lying. She basically informed me that she didn't have any problem with, me talking to him. She didn't have any problem with me having a relationship with the guy. And she didn't hold it against me. And my whole twist was, I was glad that she didn't hold it against me, because I definitely, first of all, didn't see that coming. And second of all, didn't see that that's what he was trying to set up in the first place. But just thank God that, she understood, or at least said she did. But I said all those stories to say this. It's a lot of good women out here. And I'm one of them. I'm a good friend. I'm a good girlfriend. I'm a good sister. I'm a good daughter. I'm just a good person. And I'm not perfect. I do make mistakes. And that's why I addressed Lala and I let her know, like, I apologize if you do feel like I purposefully got with the guy that you used to be with, because that was not my intention at all. I did not even remember that you had introduced us. And that is the honest to goodness truth. Because if I would have remembered, just like I never dated Bella's ex, I would have never dated Lala's ex. But it's so crazy how twisted and sneaky people are, that they know that they stirring up stuff by trying to holler at you and trying to reach out to you and trying to show that they have an interest in you. But yet they still do that because they want to stir up stuff, because they want to break up friendships. They want to break up relationships. And I obviously know and see that obviously Bella, the young lady that I told y'all that I used to call my sister, obviously her children's father, who ended up acting like he was trying to get with me, obviously he was jealous of she and I's friendship. And he saw how good of a friend I was, and he did not want her to maintain having a great friendship with a good person that genuinely meant well by her. And I genuinely believe that, because if he did care for her in that way, I'm pretty sure he would have never did that slimy, sneaky crap that he did to make us not be friends anymore. And then I hit up dude, because he kept trying to, like, make himself be seen. So I hit him up, because I'm like, why you keep trying to make yourself be seen on my page? And I already know you a sneaky, slimy dude. Because I know he has something to do with Bella and I not being cool anymore. I haven't been able now to see my godson or see any of my other godchildren for like almost 3 years now. When for the past, Bella and I met when I was 19. So it's been about 13 years now since we met. So for about 10 years strong, Bella and I was cool as F. We was super cool. Like sisters. Celebrated almost every birthday together. And if we didn't celebrate almost every birthday together, we definitely hit up each other. Happy birthday, girly. Be blessed. Blase, blase, blase. I love you. This, and the third. Like, it's so crazy how fake and phony people are. How fake and phony she was to me. How fake and phony her family was to me. How fake and phony her boyfriend was. It's sad and it's crazy. The fake and phoniness of this world and how people psych other people out and then try to make the other person seem like they're the bad guy, they're the bad girl, but yet you the one being sneaky and slimy the whole time. But you know what? I thank God because I know that I'm blessed. Because I could have fucked with Bull. Excuse my language. I could have effed with him. If I didn't F with him for any other reason, I could have effed with him just because she decided to be a bi towards me when I didn't do nothing to that girl. But be a good friend and be a good sister, even though I never was her sister. But I acted like I was her sister. I was there for her like I was her sister. This girl, I would buy Pampers for her. I would come babysit for her for free. Her and that same baby father that turned her against me, they both invited me with them to Tampa, Florida when they moved. I'm the one that said no because I felt like something was sneaky in. And thank God, thank you God, that y'all gave me enlightenment, even though I didn't know why necessarily. I didn't really want to move with them. Thank God I chose not to. Because they would have made my life a living hell if I would have decided to move to Tampa with them. And it's unbelievable because Bella and I used to always talk about how we both wanted to live in Florida. So I'm just grateful to the ancestors that they did at least give me that much sense. Thank you, ancestors, to know that something was slick and slimy about him even offering to pay for me to come to Tampa, Florida to live with them too. He was trying something sneaky and slimy then. And I'm so glad that I didn't fall into that trap, because that was a trap that they both was trying to set for me. But see, Bella didn't even know that it was a trap. And she's the one that asked me, did I want to come with them? But I know Bella had her own reasons of why she was asking me. Because Bella wanted to ask me because Bella wanted to use me. Bella saw how much I helped her with the kids. She saw how much I loved those children of hers. And she knew that if I did live with her, that I more than likely 9 times out of 10 would have said, don't worry about paying me for watching them kids. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. I got you. Because she knew that that's the kind of woman that I was. But I guess that when I told her no, she felt some type of way then too. But I'm glad I told her no. Because now I see that I was doing myself a favor by not falling for a trap that the devil, including her and her ex, was setting up for me. And I said all this to say to you guys, be careful out here, y'all. If a man asks you to go out on a date or asks you to go out somewhere, be mindful to ask that man, do you got money? And be mindful to ask that man, are you willing to pay for this date? Or are you expecting me to pay for my own date? So that you can be able to know what you're getting into. Also, if you have girlfriends and they got slimy behind boyfriends, take it from me. My advice to you, sweetheart, is do your best to just not be around that man. Period. Ignore these men like they the plague when it comes to your girlfriend's men. And I'm not saying ignore them like they're the plague because you don't trust yourself. Because if you're a woman like me, you don't have no problem with trusting yourself because you know you have control over yourself. Okay? But I'm saying this because we should not trust these men. Because the problem with us is that we be trusting these men way too much. And then they turn around and do us dirty. And then we cry in a river. But at the end of the day, we're not paying attention to the facts of life that you should not trust anybody who has not shown themselves to be trustworthy. So, young ladies, even young men, be careful out here. If you hanging out with your friends, do your best to not hang out with their significant others. Just to do yourself the favor of getting out of a weird equation. Because that was a weird equation that I was in the middle of. And I didn't ask to be in the middle of. But at the end of the day, I had felt like, dang, like that was like one of my closest friends. Like I really lost a friend. Like that's effed up. But you know what? I had to look at that situation totally different. And I had to say to myself, you know what? Actually, I didn't lose a friend because she never was a good friend. In all actuality, she was the one that lost a good friend. Because I'm the only one that you're assuming is sleeping with your ex, but I'm not. I'm the only one that you're assuming is trying to hook up with your ex, but I'm not. I'm the only one that's actually innocent and have not done anything to this girl for her to have treated me like I never existed in her life. And this girl used to call me in the middle of the night because the baby needed Pampers, because her boyfriend was acting crazy and she needed help with the kids because she was there with the kids by herself. It was so much that I helped this girl with. And I know that the only reason why that even ended up able to happen was because she's no longer in Philly. So she's no longer able to use me. So therefore, she had no reason for me to stick around at all. But at the end of the day, from now on, I just pray that the ancestors bless me with great friends that are great friends like I am. And that's not fake and phony like she was. All right, ancestors, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like the content, press that like button. And if you'd like to see more content like this of me venting, doing little throwbacks or flashbacks or whatever that I do decide to get on here with. If you guys like that content, subscribe. And you'll be able to see every time I come up and I upload a video. And I would be happy to see you guys again next time. Deuces.